It's time for the Roundball Roundup Lake Area Basketball Show. And now your hosts, William Holtz and Ron Dugan.
Welcome, folks. It's the Roundball Roundup, and I'm your host, William Holtz, and we appreciate you tuning in for what's our first show in what seems like forever. Been a few weeks with the holiday break, and although it was the holiday break, plenty of basketball was played over the course of the last couple of weeks. Of course, both Camdenton programs made their way down to Springfield for some very prestigious holiday tournaments. We'll recap those. We'll talk about the couple of weeks that were for Osage programs. They had their conference tournaments over the holiday break at Hallsville, and they got right back to action the last week. And we'll also have on the show for our Player Spotlight segment, Kendall Miller from the women's side, and we'll also have James McCann from the guys' side. It'll be a nice time getting to chat with both of those young individuals. And on top of that, we're going to get right into Camdenton. And I'll tell you, girls were very, very competitive down at the pink and white tournament in Springfield. They got Ozarks in the first round. Really a tough seed for the Lady Lakers, and they gave Ozarks all they wanted. They lost the final score 67-66, very nearly knocked off the winners of this year's Rogers Elite 8 tournament earlier in the season at Arkansas. And I'll tell you, it's got to be an encouraging sign to play that close to a team like that, and really an opportunity to win the game with a lead late. And if it wasn't for a couple of late turnovers and uncontested shots for the opponent, Camdenton could have came away with the win. Then you go a couple of nights later and you've got Clever, who historically one of the better women's basketball programs, and Camdenton hung right with them. As a matter of fact, Camdenton led at the break. Tegan Shockley did another one of her half-court miracles. She hit a half-court buzzer beater, and they led by 7 going into the break and had an opportunity to win late. Just couldn't quite seal the deal, so they lose both of those ball games and get right back to it Thursday night. They traveled down to Monday night, traveled down to Central, get a big 20-point win. Loved seeing the scoring. Really nice job by the girls. They love to spread it out, very balanced in that game. And then, of course, very, very tough game at West Plains. Kept it tough. And I talked with Coach Caffey. They ended up losing by 9 points, but she said, man, best half of basketball possibly we've played this year. They played hard in the second half. And if it wasn't for the hole, the girls would have dug themselves in the first half, probably come away with that one with a W. And like I said, had an opportunity to win late in the game. And then on the guys' side, of course, the girls bounced back in that loss at West Plains. And on the guys' side at the blue and gold tournament, boy, tough teams they played as well. Guys get thrashed in the first round of Bolivar. And luckily, they get to play Lebanon in the next round. Of course, everybody knows Lebanon-Camdenton, one of the greater rivalries in the Ozark Conference. And Lebanon proved just a little bit too much for the Lakers to hold. It was a very, very close ball game. And I think we're starting to see, as competitive and hard as they play, Camdenton just doesn't have the size against some of these teams. And, you have some guys that are scoring the basketball, Dylan Decker, Isaiah Lumley, and they can't do it all. You got to get a little help. And one guy I expect to really come on strong the second half of the year that hasn't been playing up to his standard is Hunter Glenn. That's a young man that knows he can bring a lot more to the table. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. Hunter Glenn has an outstanding second half of his campaign this season. So look out, because I think he's going to put numbers on everyone they play. So Camdenton on the guys' side fall to 4-7, and really, really hoping they can get back in the win column. Guys will be at Joplin on Friday night, and then they've got to travel down to Bolivar on Tuesday. Never easy, of course, get back home following Friday night. Hopefully that home cooking's exactly what the doctor ordered, as we all know Camdenton needs a lift in the worst way. So 4-7 are the guys, and the girls sit at 7-5 after that tough loss at West Plains. And of course, a lot of basketball still to be played, so don't count either of those programs out, ladies and gentlemen. And when we come back on the Roundball Roundup, we'll talk about the Osage girls program. Fast start, 9-2, and we'll talk about how they got to that mark, as well as talk about how they did at the Hallsville Conference Tournament.
Your vehicle, it's part of who you are. It's your partner in weekday traffic and your passport to weekend fun. It's your sometimes office and your all-the-time concert hall. For all your vehicle is to you, isn't it time you did something for it too? Introducing the Quick Car Monthly Unlimited Wash Club. For only $20 a month, wash your car as often as you want. Enjoy significant savings and never worry if it's going to rain or not. Join the Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time.
At Lake Regional Sports Medicine, keeping athletes in top condition is not just a job, it's our passion. Our athletic trainers work in the schools to keep student athletes safe and healthy. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons have the expertise to get you over the pain and back in the game. And we offer 5 area locations for physical therapy to help you regain your competitive edge.
Lake Regional Sports Medicine, here for you.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a Polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
Meet Walt, our local Hy-Vee pharmacist. He's highly trained to counsel, support, and care for your chronic and complex medical needs. Hy-Vee Pharmacy Solutions is your complete source for specialized pharmacy services. Meet Amy, our local Hy-Vee dietitian. She's our most credible source of food and nutrition information. She's your go-to for shopping tours that focus on your diet needs. You can even take a biometric screening on site. At Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, our health experts can't wait to meet you.
Welcome back to the Roundball Roundup, guys, and it is time for our Osage girls basketball segment where we'll talk about the girls program. Of course, over the break, they headed to Hallsville for the annual conference tournament in its second year of the new format, middle of the season, and in the first round of the tournament at Hallsville, actually Osage got Hallsville and took care of business, winning that game 53-23, won by 30 points. Now, worth noting, Hallsville without their best player. She would return for Monday's game, which we'll talk on. In the second round, Osage able to handle California. They beat them by 10 points to catapult themselves into the championship game, where they'd find themselves matched up against a very, very tough Southern Boone team, a state-ranked Southern Boone team, I might add. And Southern Boone proved to be too much for the Lady Indians to handle. And after the ball game, I did get to talk with Coach Rowland, and he said, yeah, that team's really, really good. They've been good the last few years, but we just didn't play a very good game. And I asked him earlier today as well, if you get to see them again and you guys put your complete game together, he says we can certainly play against them. They ended up losing that game 56-25 rather. 31 points, very uncharacteristic of the Lady Indians this year, who, as I said, sit at 9-2, and they'd get right back to business Monday night at home against Hallsville. And although Hallsville was able to get their best player back, as you can see, Osage took care of business and they win that one 53-33. And so Hallsville's stud down low proved to be about a 10-point difference. And in the ball game, I'm just going to run through the stats because once again the Lady Indians continue to be very unselfish, and I almost like to say frustratingly unselfish at times for both the girls and the guys team, because the pass work is so solid, so fundamentally sound, but these girls are unselfish. They know anyone can score, and they got a lot of playmakers. And as I read the box score, Kerrigan Gam, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Jordan Bartlett, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 blocks. Kendall Miller, 12 points, 5 steals. All 12 of Miss Miller's points came in the second half, so she poured it on late, and she'll be on the show here shortly to get to talk with us. And then Miss Mackenzie King, 9 points and a rebound. And then, of course, one of my favorite players, Carson Wood, she really spread it out. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And so, as we already know about this Lady Indian team, very, very deep, can do a lot of things well. And sitting at 9-2, we've seen a couple of games that they didn't play their best, but we certainly believe that moving forward, they can improve upon that. Now, the Osage girls, they're going to get right back to action Thursday night this week. They play against Buffalo, and then they're going to host their annual tournament starting next Monday in Osage, folks. So not only Thursday do you have an opportunity to catch them at home against Buffalo, but the Osage tournament, which held every year here in Osage, that starts next Monday. And if you stay tuned to Lake TV on our Facebook page, Instagram, will keep you posted on the seedings for the Osage tournament. So I'll say one last time, ladies and gentlemen, 9-2 their overall mark through 11 games, and only these girls could potentially stop themselves from achieving greatness. At 9-2, the sky really is the limit, and you like their chances down the stretch. So that's going to wrap up the Osage women's edition of today's show. When we come back from a short commercial break, we'll talk about the guys program. 8-4, big bounce back win Tuesday night against Buffalo. We have highlights from that, and we'll talk about just how this team bounced back after this.
Your boat, it's part of who you are. It's all about enjoying the lake on the weekend and having fun with friends and family. For all your boat is to you, isn't it time you did something for it too? You can with Quick Car Dockside Boat Cleaning. Quick Car will come to your dock and clean your boat from bow to stern, so you'll spend more time enjoying your boat, not cleaning it. Quick Car Dockside Boat Cleaning. Quick, easy, and professional every time. 2 blocks from Hy-Vee and Osage Beach.
The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company is home to the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Lakers basketball show. And it's home to the lake's best coffee, scones, and handcrafted sandwiches. Come see what all the talk is about and enjoy the beautiful, tucked away in the woods setting. While deciding from our irresistible lineup of drinks and treats, you'll also notice some of the most breathtaking art from local artists plastered all over our walls. The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company, taking pride in being much more than your normal coffee shop.
Welcome back, folks, to the Roundball Roundup. And as you just heard, you know all about the Osage girls side of the program. So now let's talk about the guys side of the program. Just like the Lady Indians, the guys down at Hallsville for the conference tournament over the break, and the guys had the California Pintos in the first round. And what a matchup that proved to be. Osage just did hang on. They win by a final 67-66, which was a whale of a game. And then just like the Southern Boone Eagles that took care of business against the Lady Indians, the Southern Boone Eagles get the guys in the second round. 65-40 is your score in that one. 73-64 your score in that one. And then in the third place game, the guys found themselves matched up against Hallsville. That game was 65-40. Hallsville took care of business. Osage all out of sorts, talking with Coach Snicker in that game. So they come home with a record of 7-4, and after their quick start to wonder, oh man, they're maybe starting to slip up just a bit. But I will tell you, in Tuesday's game at home against Buffalo, they were ready to play. As a matter of fact, the Osage Indians in the first half of Tuesday's game, 4 turnovers. That's virtually unheard of at the high school level. All 4 of those turnovers in the first quarter of play. They would fail to commit a turnover, my calculations of course, so we could have missed one, but through the second or the third period. Later in the game they did have a few more turnovers. Of course you had some reserves in there getting some extra minutes, so that could attribute to that. But the final score of that game, ladies and gentlemen, 63-33, Osage all over Buffalo. And I'll tell you, just like on the girls' side, I will touch on it all season long until something changes. Just so unselfish, and even more than the girls' side, almost frustratingly selfish at times, because you have guys that can just shoot lights out all over the court for Osage, but they love to pass the ball. And as a matter of fact, the extra pass was a big reason why the Indians finished on the night 9 of 20 from beyond the arc, and that equates to a 45% three-point field goal shooting percentage, and that's outstanding. You're going to win a lot of games, especially when you hold your opponent to shoot 2 of 17 from downtown. That's exactly what the Osage defense was able to do to Buffalo. They started the game 0 of 9 from downtown in the first half, and they had scored just 12 points at the break, 7 of those coming via the free throw. So Osage dominated this game from start to finish. And if you look at the stat sheet, just like on the girls' side, incredibly balanced. As a matter of fact, 4 guys put on 9 points or more, starting with Drake Gaines, 11 points, all in the second half of play. Keaton Gamiller, 11 points, 10 rebounds for the double-double, and he didn't stop there. 6 steals, 3 assists. Keaton was all over the place. Mr. Bartlett, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Dalton DePay, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And then, of course, Mr. Edwards, my man, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And I'll tell you, Edwards continues to be one of the most unselfish players you'll see. Jason Edwards, that is. Just the extra pass, that was always him. He was typically the culprit on that. I don't know. If you look at the Osage team, top to bottom, they seem very, very tough to beat. They may not have all the size, but boy, they defend, they pass, they run the floor, and they can shoot lights out. Your final numbers on the night. Shooting for Osage, like I said, from beyond the arc, they finished 9 of 20, 5 of 8 from the free throw line, and just 8 turnovers. 4 of those in the first period, 4 of those in the last period. And talking with Coach Snicker, he's like, man, you go 2 periods without turning the ball over, you're going to create yourself some serious opportunities. So, big bounce back win for Coach Snicker's squad, 8-4 on the year, and Tuesday's game against Crocker has been canceled, but you heard about that exciting game in the opening round of the Tri-County Conference between the Pintos and the Indians. Well, you can see that rematch on Tuesday in California when Osage travels to play the Pintos. See who wins that one. Close game, obviously. It was a neutral court at the conference tournament. California gets home court advantage, if you will. So we'll see how that one shakes out. 8-4 on the year. Lots of basketball left to be played. Folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, show gets a little more exciting. Kendall Miller, she joins us on set for our player spotlight. And then after that, we'll have my man, James McCann, on the show. We'll be back after this.
As a local businesswoman and mom of 2, life can be very busy. So having my groceries delivered makes life so much more convenient. They deliver it to my door without me ever having to leave the house.
At Hy-Vee, we love our moms so much that we'll do the grocery shopping for you. Pre-order your list from home with Hy-Vee's Aisles Online. Our personal shopper handpicks produce and selects the best for you. You can even select your preferred ripeness of your produce. Try Hy-Vee's Aisles Online today.
Welcome to Alternative Remedies Plus, natural remedies for your mind, body, and soul. If your body is out of balance, our Biomeridian Stress Assessment can suggest supplements that can restore harmony physically and mentally using our own collection of herbs and supplements. We also offer an extensive selection of vitamins, herbs, sports nutrition, weight loss, and other supplements. Alternative Remedies Plus. Visit us today in our new location next to the Big Red Barn, just off the square in Camdenton.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a Polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
And we're back on the Roundball Roundup, and now we have the pleasure of being joined by Osage sharpshooter Miss Kendall Miller as part of our player spotlight. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I imagine you girls got to be doing pretty well. Off to a fast start, 9-2. What's been the key to you guys being so successful?
Definitely our defense. We're stopping teams who have no problem scoring, and so we're getting them down. And our offense too, we're just clicking and we're finding people who are open, and it's working out really well.
Yeah, and you know, one thing before we came on, we were talking about one thing you feel like really sets you guys apart that all of us have noticed. You know, I've talked with Coach Rowland about, and a few of the parents. It's a very, very unselfish team, and you were touching on that.
Yeah, nobody at our team is really selfish, which is rare in a team. You have that one person who might want to take it more than others and not looking for another person, but definitely we look for the people that are open, look to get them where they're dangerous. Jordan inside, me outside, Carson likes to drive, Kerrigan pulls up for jumpers, and we definitely just look for each other where we're open, and it's worked out a lot.
Very good, and we said you girls are 9-2, and you were part of a very successful team a couple years ago, saw some success last year. What's different about this year's team from the last couple of years' teams?
I think we've grown. We did lose, like, I think 6 seniors or something like that, but you know, the tradition, like, it's the culture. We keep bringing it, and winning is our culture now, and I think that that's definitely what the team 2 years ago brought, and we just keep bringing up girls, and they're buying in, which is really good.
Very good, and not only are you guys unselfish, but you guys pass the ball extremely well. I was keeping track of one of the earlier games, and you guys had 16 baskets and through the third quarter, and of those there was 14 assists. What makes you guys so unselfish? I mean, is there something that goes into it, something you guys practice?
We're all just really good friends, so you know, it's not like we just talk when we're in school or whatever. We talk definitely outside, we hang out, so I think that definitely plays a part in it.
Yeah, very good. Now, Kendall, you have a lot of future ambitions and goals when it comes to basketball. I understand you're on scholarship to play at the next level. Talk to us about that.
I have a scholarship to play at the University of Lindenwood, Belleville, which is in Illinois, and very excited. They're the Lady Lynx, and went up there in, I think, October and visited and just really, really liked it. The girls are just really nice, and I really like, I think, are ranked number 24 right now in the NAIA, which is really good. And I just love the way they play and the flow of everything, and seems like it'll be a really good fit.
Very good. So you're going to carry that sharp shooting into Illinois. Outside of basketball, have you decided on a major? You know what you want to do next?
Yeah, I would like to major in sports medicine and be an athletic trainer. So I'm taking a sports med class right now in high school, and I'm really liking it.
So you've got to love the athletic trainer we've got here. Zach does a wonderful job and very knowledgeable. You gotten to pick his brain at all?
Yeah, in our sports med class, we actually have to shadow him for part of our project, so I have, and he's a really nice guy. I like it a lot.
Very, very good. So now that we've gotten to know Kendall Miller, the basketball player, just a little bit, now we're going to find out a little bit more about you off the court. Talk to us about what is your favorite thing to do if you're not playing basketball?
Eat.
It's a great answer.
I love to eat. I like to watch Grey's Anatomy. I like hanging out with my family a lot. I think definitely when I was younger, I didn't think hanging out with my family was that cool, you know, but definitely as I'm getting older, definitely cherishing the memories before I have to go to college. So
yeah, of course, that's something so crucial, because especially when you're in high school, you can take that for granted, and if you have a wonderful family and you're blessed with that, it's very, very important to take advantage of spending time with them. Now, Kendall, okay, so you said you love to eat, which is so honest of you. It's very rare you'll sit down with a young lady and she'll openly say, I love to eat, because I love to eat too. But what things do you like to eat? What's your favorite foods?
Mexican.
Mexican?
Yeah, hands down, love Mexican, love chips and salsa, probably my favorite part.
Go in so you could live off chips and salsa and drink water, not pay a dime?
No.
I literally, when I was younger, I went into Chili's with a friend of mine, and we got chips and salsa and ice water, and didn't pay a dime. We were going to tip her. She's like, no, I think you guys need it more than I do. Have you ever done that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I have as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to play a game we like to call the Fast Five, and I'm just going to ask 5 random questions, and you're going to answer them as quick as you can. And this is going to reveal to the viewers a little bit more about you, not just your answers, but how you come up with the answers.
Okay.
So my first question for you, Miss Kendall Miller, who's your favorite actor or actress and why?
Oh gosh. I like Will Ferrell a lot. I like different characters that he plays. Really love Elf. So.
I was just about to ask.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. My parents, my whole family watches it every Christmas. It's kind of like a tradition, so I really like him.
Elf has come onto this show so many times that has happened. People have said Will Ferrell, and I hear that, and I immediately scream that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Will Ferrell is awesome.
Love
for
him.
sure. Okay, so we know Will Ferrell, so Elf may be your favorite movie.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you your favorite show, but it's got to be Grey's Anatomy.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, so everyone binge watches series. So outside of Grey's Anatomy, touch on a couple of your other favorites.
One Tree Hill, for sure. I watched 90210. You know that show? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
And then I watched Orange is the New Black for a little bit, but not anymore. I'm not liking it, so. But definitely Grey's is my favorite.
Nip that in the bud, Coach, before that runs wild. It's not a good show for our student athletes to be watching, Miss Miller. Glad to hear you said you don't watch it anymore. Okay, so dream job, I want to ask you, and before you answer, schooling and money are no issue. You don't have to go get an education, and it doesn't matter how much money you make. What would you do that just sets your soul on fire?
Oh, probably just professional like sports, either coaching or playing, because I love sports. I watch them and I like to play, so I definitely think like coaching would be cool to like get to do that with other people or just playing too.
Yeah, certainly. So you're a big sports fan. What's your favorite professional sport to watch?
Probably basketball or football, or I like baseball a lot. I like to watch the Cardinals.
So all of them?
Yeah.
That's a great answer. She's like basketball,
I was thinking,
baseball,
and I was
football.
like all of them.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I mean, there's nothing like it. So do you have a favorite team that you root for?
Baseball, the Cardinals. What?
I'm a Cub fan, diehard Cub fan. That's okay.
Sorry.
Everyone has their shortcomings.
Basketball. Well, college. I like to watch college basketball more than professional, I think. But I like UConn a lot. Louisville.
Yeah, solid women's programs. You know, obviously at UConn, you gotta love UConn. I will tell you, I have a special heart for women's basketball. I did student assistant coaching and thought I was going to be the next Pat Summitt one day and got to work her camp. So I do really appreciate, I know that there's not always a popular stigma around women's basketball, but you girls in your program make it very, very fun to watch women's basketball. Kendall, I certainly appreciate you coming on the show. Before you leave, we have a little gift for you.
Thank you.
That's put together from our friends at Chances Are. There's dinner in there, and Get Air Trampoline Park, some free jumping. But I talked to Coach. He said do not jump prior to the season. Wait till after the year, take advantage of that, and there's some goodies. Kendall, good luck. Looking forward to following you the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Kendall Miller, sharpshooter. You can catch her on the Osage Indians female schedule the rest of the way. We'll be back after this.
At Lake Regional Sports Medicine, keeping athletes in top condition is not just a job, it's our passion. Our athletic trainers work in the schools to keep student athletes safe and healthy. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons have the expertise to get you over the pain and back in the game. And we offer 5 area locations for physical therapy to help you regain your competitive edge.
Lake Regional Sports Medicine, here for you.
Welcome back, folks. It's our second player spotlight segment, and now we're joined by, you know him from football, you gotta know him from basketball, and if you ask the girls at Osage, James McCann is hot, and here he is in the abyss. My man, James McCann. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, just here.
Just here at school, getting out of class. Man, I'll tell you what, you guys are fun to watch, very, very talented. Talk about the fact, just talk about this year's team so far.
I think it's our hard work showing off, because my first year, I believe we went 6-20, and then last year, of course, went 13-13. So you can see we're just gradually getting better and playing more as a team. And it's just a fun group of guys.
Yeah, certainly, and similar to the girls program, very, very unselfish. And as a matter of fact, at times, you guys can almost be frustratingly unselfish. Touch on the fact that you guys are also so unselfish.
Well, I mean, we've just known each other since we've been kids, so it's just like someone gets a hot hand, we're just trying to give them the ball and, you know, just put up as most points as possible.
Certainly. So, any ambitions after the high school level to take your athletic career to the next level?
Haven't decided yet, just still got another year to think about that, so just one game at a time.
As a junior, not rushing anything, just very, very cool. So far through your first 3 years here at Osage, obviously the gradual getting better every year. In those 3 years on the basketball court, do you have a particular favorite memory?
I think my favorite memory was just seeing last year's senior class. You know, they're the first program to go 500 since like 7 years in Osage, and that was just, you know, great to see, like, because some of my better friends are in that class, so just good to see them achieve that.
So last year, the 13-3, you guys 7-5 so far. How good do you think this team can be?
We just gotta play together and keep on getting better in practice. I mean, there's no limit. We just gotta keep on going and pushing ourselves.
And I stand corrected, 8-4. I know you gave me a look, so I had to look. You guys are
13-13 last year, 8-4 this year.
8-4 so far this year. And I mean, the thing is, you guys, your losses, there's only been one game that I felt like you guys weren't in. You guys are very, very competitive. I don't think there's a team on your schedule you guys can't play with.
Yeah, we just don't quit. We do a good job of just keep pushing, and it's just, I think we get that from football too. It's just keep on going and just fighting through.
All right, of course we saw Dalton's three-quarter court shot at Camdenton, of course. But let's say state title game, 42-44, you guys are down, 4.5 seconds. Inbound comes to you. You have to find one of your favorite players to shoot the open three-pointer. Who you want to pass it to?
Isaac Yoder. He's got the best stroke on the team, in my opinion.
Isaac Yoder, he had a buzzer beater last night.
Yeah, for the winning JV.
And he won the free throw. Solid, right?
Solid kid.
Yeah, Yoder can do it all. Of course, comes from the bloodline, right? His dad, a Versailles guy. You got to touch on Versailles. I'm a Versailles graduate. And Versailles, we may not always stay at Versailles, but when we transplant somewhere, we make an impact, like the Yoder guys, right?
And Coach Ryan, of course.
Of course, very, very good, man. All right, James, so we know about you on the basketball court. Obviously, we saw what you did this year on the football field, but I want to know a little bit about you off the court. So tell us, who is James McCann?
I'm just a kid from Iowa, just living the Missouri dream, getting on the water.
Yeah, man, the Lake of the Ozarks has to be beautiful coming from Iowa. You love the lake?
Oh, I love the lake. It's awesome.
So what brought you guys down here?
Just somewhere my mom and dad wanted to move.
It's awesome. Very, very cool. So you've only been here 3 years. Where would you, or how would you compare Osage as far as how you fit in here to where you went to school back in Iowa?
Well, I've been here for, I think, probably 8 years now, so very young. So it's been a great transition. Osage is an excellent school.
Yeah, certainly. So you've been here for a while, so it's basically all you've known. So this now brings me to one of my favorite parts of the show. We call it the Fast Five. I'm just going to randomly ask 5 questions, and you're going to throw out the answer as quick as you can think about it.
All right.
And we're going to start with, where's your dream place to go in the world? If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
The British Virgin Islands.
And why?
Family's there right now. Got to stay here and play basketball and go to school, so that's pretty tough.
Yeah, of course. It'd be tough to get away from those commitments. All right, so your favorite TV series, whether it's Netflix, Hulu, or on TV, go.
Probably The Office before it was canceled.
Yes, good man. That's one of my favorite answers. Anyone that says The Office gets a little kudos from me. Michael Scott, Dwight, and of course, you gotta love Jim and Pam's relationship, right? That's like a dream. Cool thing, right, those two?
Not really.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Forget Jim.
Just there for the humor.
Just there for the humor. All right, well, favorite show's The Office. How about favorite actor?
Ashton Kutcher.
And why?
Just Iowa boy.
Iowa boy, and then I guess maybe a big fan of Punk'd?
Yeah, that was always good.
That
70s show was classic.
Yeah, it was wonderful in that show. All right, so what's your favorite professional sport to watch?
I'd have to say professional football.
And your favorite team?
Chicago Bears.
So you're a Chicago Bear guy. Does that make you a Chicago Cub guy as well?
Yes.
Oh, good man. James, we had Kendall on earlier, and she said she was a Cardinal fan, which we didn't kick her off the set, but I'll tell you, it's a good time to be a Cub fan, isn't it? So the guy just keeps getting cooler all the while. He's a Cub fan as well. James, dream job. And just like I asked Kendall, money's no issue, education's no issue. We're just going to catapult you into this position. Where are you going?
I'd be a professional field goal holder.
Yeah, for sure.
Just make millions, do nothing.
Well, I'll tell you, you say that, but if for whatever reason you don't get the snap down and ball placed correctly, I don't think you're making millions for very long.
Just gotta practice.
Just gotta practice. So you want to do something in sports, professionally potentially.
I mean, that'd be awesome, but just gotta see where it goes.
You see where it goes. All right, James, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Before we let you go, got a gift for you. That's from our friends at Chances Are. There's dinner in there for you. Also get air through in some hours, just like Kendall. Coach Snicker does not want you to use those trampoline passes till after the season, so make sure you honor that. Some gifts, man. Dude, love watching you play, not just football, basketball. Good luck the rest of the way, and I'll look forward to watching you. Of course, man. That's James McCann with the Osage Indians, and we'll be back after this.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build polylifts.
The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company is home to the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Lakers basketball show. And it's home to the lake's best coffee, scones, and handcrafted sandwiches. Come see what all the talk is about and enjoy the beautiful tucked away in the woods setting. While deciding from our irresistible lineup of drinks and treats, you'll also notice some of the most breathtaking art from local artists plastered all over our walls. The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company, taking pride in being much more than your normal coffee shop.
Welcome to Alternative Remedies Plus, natural remedies for your mind, body, and soul. If your body is out of balance, our Biomeridian Stress Assessment can suggest supplements that can restore harmony physically and mentally using our own collection of herbs and supplements. We also offer an extensive selection of vitamins, herbs, sports nutrition, weight loss, and other supplements. Alternative Remedies Plus. Visit us today in our new location next to the Big Red Barn, just off the square in Camdenton.
All right, folks, so that is a wrap for this week's show. Next week, we'll be back at the Funky Buffalo in Camdenton for what we consider our Camdenton edition. As we said, tons and tons of basketball still to be played. Go support your local teams, and also make sure you support our sponsors you see on the show, because we wouldn't be able to do what we do with the basketball show if it wasn't for our generous sponsors. So make sure you go support them. From the entire Lake TV crew, from our producers, our editors, our videographers, and everyone involved, we certainly thank you for watching. I'm William Holtz, and before we let you go, I leave you with this week's highlight of the week, brought to you by Vision Source Family Eye Care.
Lake TV Sports thanks you for watching this edition of Roundball Roundup. Watch for a brand new edition next Thursday at 12:30 on the Lake TV Network.